Get the insight. This is GIMG.TV. You're listening to PI Insight with your host, Tim O'Rourke. On the Global Investigator Media Group. Listen, watch, subscribe at GIMG.TV and never miss an episode. We are the professional community of investigators.
Hello, this is Tim O'Rourke, and welcome to PI Insight on GIMG.TV. Welcome to another edition of PI Insight. I am honored today to have both the king and queen of PI podcasting as my guest. And we are, of course, talking about Francie Kohler, who is the voice of PI Declassified from California. Francie has served as a two-term president for both National Council of Investigator and Security Services, also known as NCISS, and for the California Association of Licensed Investigators, CALI, and continues to serve the board of directors and is currently legislative chair for both organizations. She teaches interviewing techniques and report writing skills and is on the staff of the Defense Investigator Training Academy. She holds memberships in numerous trade associations and testifies frequently on behalf of California private investigators before the California Senate and Assembly Committee. Among the several awards recognizing Francie, she values Cali's Distinguished Achievement Award for the John J. Duffy Award from NCISS the most. And then on to the king. We have Paul Jabe, who is the voice of American PI, based out of Minnesota, unless we're at Southern Command in Arizona. Paul is the CEO of Heartland Investigation Group, founded in 1991. His leadership is guided by a wide range of experience in legal investigations, background profiles, corporate fraud investigations, security consulting. He has solved dozens of complex corporate fraud cases, conducted dozens of high-level security audits, and advised the region's leading executives on issues relating to corporate security and investigations. Paul is also a charter fraud investigator and past national director for NALI, the National Association of Legal Investigators. He is an active member of also the Certified Fraud Examiners and the Society of Competitive Intelligence Professionals, as well as is. Welcome to the show, Francie and Paul.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, Tim. Thank you.
Now, thank you guys for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having us on the show. It's quite an honor, Tim. Thank you.
Well, the honor is all mine here, I got to tell you. This has been something I've been looking forward to as we have been talking. You know, what I like to do with this show is capitalize on the intellectual capital of you two and really give something to our listeners. And to do that, I thought about this, and I feel that we should address things that are for both new and more experienced private investigators. Ladies and gentlemen, these two travel around the country, and via their shows, they speak to private investigators frequently from around the country and have a good pulse and a unique position to offer up some best practices advice. So that's what I'd like to do is start out with that, and then we'll see where the conversation takes us. So first and foremost, again, welcome to the show. And in no particular order, actually, let's let the ladies go first. What is the best advice you would give a brand new private investigator who is just entering the investigative field, Francie? And don't feel like you have to stick to one thing. Feel free to give 3 or 4 tidbits out there.
Well, thanks, Tim. The best advice I could ever give a new private investigator would be to join your state trade association and join your national trade association. One of the things that private investigator associations often do is monitor legislation in their state to see if there's anything that's going to be coming down the pike that affects them. So, belonging to the state association, it's also a networking avenue, it's also a training avenue. There's all varied ways that you can get involved and continue to learn and ask questions. And most associations have email lists that you can post a question or post a job or ask, whatever you need to ask or get jobs. So that would be my first
Suggestion?
definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, first suggestion. Secondly, I think just actually to get involved. Just don't sit back and lurk around and watch. Get involved. So that would be my two main. And as we are, 3 of us are probably over involved, but it's a good thing to do, and it you learn from it. You learn from each other. The new guy learns from you, but you learn from them too because they have varied experiences as well.
Right. And your last one?
I'm still thinking on that one. Paul, what do you have to offer?
Well, it's great to be here, Tim. I'm wondering if I have to refer to Francie as Her Majesty.
Oh,
No. Okay.
nice.
Well, yeah, just so everybody knows, Paul, this is your 5th year on air.
Yeah.
And I mean, congratulations on everything that you've done. I had the pleasure of being on your show just a couple weeks ago, and that just aired. And Francie, this is how long for PI Declassified?
It'll be 5 years in July.
5 years. Again, so I mean, you guys are pioneering this field, and and actually putting what I consider to be a quality face and a true and honest look at what we do, and discussing the things that are important to us, the ethics, the professionalism, and everything else. And there. Too many times we look around and we see people betraying us in negative ways in the TV shows and on the news. But on the news, they're portraying usually unlicensed private investigators, but the public doesn't always get that. So I'm pretty happy that you guys have been out there doing that all this time. This is our first year here, and I'm so honored that you guys would come on down, and we've got some surprises to talk about at the end of the show. So, Paul, go ahead. Give us your three things for brand new investigators.
Well, I clearly agree with Francie's comments about getting involved. I think that that's critically important, and she's really been carrying that torch for a long time, and that really, really helps the newly licensed investigator. I want to look at it from a slightly different standpoint. As both of you know, my podcast really focuses on the business side of being a PI. So I end up talking to a lot of newly licensed investigators around the country, and I tend to see a few common threads as they're kind of struggling to get out of the gate. The first thing is that investigators want to do just too much. You look at the website of someone who's got 3 or 4 years as a surveillance investigator, and all of a sudden they can do this litany of things, from forensics to statements to criminal defense to all these different things. And I think clients kind of see through that. So my advice always is focus on what you're great at first, and then backfill in these other products. So if you're a great surveillance guy, that's what you should be spending all your dollars on, getting that message out. The other thing, big mistake, I think, this is probably true for any business person. It's kind of the rule of half is what I call it. You're going to get half the clients, half the revenue, and half the profit that you think you are. And it's always good to kind of budget for that. Something happens to entrepreneurs when that first year of business. There's a kind of a level of delusion. I think we've all been through it. Probably everyone on this call right now has kind of been through that, where it looks a lot easier on paper.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that really getting a reality check and perhaps talking to someone who's either been in the business or someone who's been a successful business person. So that's the general advice, Tim, that I would give people who are just kind of stepping out.
Okay. All right.
Let me add my third thing, Tim.
Perfect.
One of the things that I see happens frequently is that new PIs think they need to have everything perfect before they launch their business.
Great
They have
point.
to have their website done, their business cards done. They're spending a lot of time trying to maneuver that path when it's never going to be perfect.
No.
And all it does is paralyze them because they think they have to have it done that way before they even get started. So you need to just add on as you go. Just start. Just put your toe in the water and go for it.
Right.
That's excellent advice, Francie. And I've heard it referred to in the past as process over perfection, that the first 80% is so easy.
Yep.
On anything. When you're writing an article, when you're writing a speech, when you're starting a business, the first 80% is easy. It's the last 20 that people struggle with mightily, and they don't take that leap because they'll say, as you referenced, oh, there's a dead link on the sub page of my website. I can't launch.
And we've all been there.
Yeah. Paralysis by analysis or over-analysis, as they say. Now, let's examine three things that you would tell the experienced PI and perhaps even business owner that they need to know. Paul, I'll throw that out to you.